All right, let's go on to our next guest, Michael Depasquale, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, BioKey. Michael, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to be with you today.
All right, great. Give us some background on you. You've got a great 25 years of experience in management. Open that up for our audience, and let's get into what's going on with BioKey, new products, and anything else you want to bring to the table.
Great. Well, thank you, Michael. Yes, true. I've been engaged in technology ventures, and technology enterprises for over 25 years. Came to BioKey just about 15 years ago as the CEO, and then most recently moved up as Chairman and CEO of the company. BioKey is really all about eliminating or replacing something that every one of us today in the United States uses every day, and that's a password. So we've developed solutions over the last 20 plus years, both software and hardware, that allow enterprises, so businesses, large and small and medium-sized companies, as well as consumers, to utilize finger biometrics in place of their current authentication schemes. So that's what we do.
Let's talk about the evolution of BioKey and to where we are now, and then let's get into the products and things looking forward.
Yeah, we started fundamentally as a software company. So building enterprise-level software to allow businesses to replace or add a biometric option to their security infrastructure. We partnered with some very, very large companies, including IBM and CA and Oracle. We have very large customers in virtually every sector of the economy, including healthcare, customers like the Cleveland Clinic and Nationwide Children's Hospital, customers like the FBI, for example, that uses our finger matching algorithms to identify both criminals and, more importantly today, to do background checks on individuals that are required in different fields, including banking and healthcare. So we've got customers across virtually every sector of the economy. We've evolved over the last couple of years to provide a collection of fingerprint scanners that are very high quality, very inexpensive, and plug and play with Microsoft's Windows 10 and Windows Hello. So we moved from software into hardware, allowing us to provide a full and complete solution. More importantly, we've also moved from the enterprise into the consumer markets. So today, as I mentioned, our finger scanners are plug and play with Microsoft's Windows 10 and Windows Hello, which is the authentication manager that's innate in the operating system. You can go on Amazon.com, for example, and buy our finger scanners, plug it right into your computer, and you can replace the PIN that you're using to access that device with your finger. So we moved, again, from the enterprise into the consumer markets. Over the last 6 months, we've evolved to a new line of consumer products, something, again, that every one of us uses or has used at some point, a simple padlock. So we've taken our biometric technology, our hardware capability, our software capability, and we've introduced a consumer product, a line and a series of padlocks that are both finger biometric and Bluetooth enabled. Those products have recently hit the market and are also available on Amazon and available at our own e-Shopify site, shop.biokey.com.
When you say Bluetooth enabled, what do you mean by that?
Well, it means simply that you can pair it with your smartphone, your Android or your Apple phone, and you can use an app on the device that you download to open and manage the lock. So no more pins, no more passwords, no more keys, no more combinations. Fundamentally, you can use your finger or you can use the app on your phone to open the lock.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. You've got to have a lot of security with that because that's pretty easily hackable. Just on the concept of, if somebody can open my garage, can't they do this? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, well, we're using low-power Bluetooth, which is certainly much more secure than the traditional Bluetooth technology that's been out there for quite some time. We're also using different types of encryption and different types of security within the app to ensure that as the administrator or owner of that device, that you're the only one who can access it. So you can utilize a PIN on your phone, or you can use, for example, even Touch ID, which is the fingerprint scanner that's embedded on the iPhone to open the lock. But we've got a whole set of security capabilities within that application.
Okay. We're going to go to a break here in about a minute or so, but I wanted to start on what you're looking to do going forward on the next segment. Any other products on this segment that you want to bring out and things that you want to talk about before we close out? You got about a minute.
Again, I think we introduced this line of fingerprint locks, not because we wanted to necessarily be solely in the lock business, but as a true example of how biometrics can move from the desktop to tablets and phones and devices that we're using today to other areas, including the connected world for the Internet of Things. Remember, as every device we own gets connected, security is going to be a big deal.
Right.
And we've got the technology, the biometric technology, and the Bluetooth technology to secure it.
That's why I brought that up. All right. And also, just so everybody understands, you are also publicly traded, right?
We are. We trade on the NASDAQ, and our stock ticker symbol is BKYI.
All right. Let's take a break right now, and then I want to cover a lot more on the other side of things that are coming up in the future, what you plan to do with the company, and where things are going to go, right?
Perfect.
All right. We'll be right back on the other side of this break with Michael Depasquale, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of BioKey, bio-key.com. Segment brought to you today by Legal Shield. And one of our new sponsors on the show, joined up here with us. You've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining us. All right, we've got Michael Depasquale, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of BioKey. That's bio-key.com. All right, and by the way, the symbol on the stock is B as in boy, K as in kilo, Y as in yellow, I as in interest. All right, Michael, welcome back to the show.
It's good to be back.
Thank you. All right, now my co-host Ed Baxter has got quite a bit of time in the investment banking industry. And, he wanted to jump into the conversation, stay on track of where we go, what you're going forward, but also bring in the fact that you're in a very competitive world. You've got the BioKey on your phone and all this. And Ed, go ahead and jump in with some of those questions that I know every day Michael faces so that he can give you the good answer.
Michael, you mentioned something interesting a second ago when you talked about the Internet of Things and the role that BioKey can play in those particular areas. One thing that's interesting about what you talked about was you mentioned the iPhone with its biometric applications and other different type of biometric applications that are available with the smartphone. As you move toward in the IoT world, what stops BioKey from being somewhat obsolete as a result of what you might see in new technologies in IoT?
Well, I can say this for sure. There has been a proliferation of biometric technology that's been deployed in smart devices. So your iPhone, your Android phones, and even tablets and the likes. But when we talk about the connected world, we're talking about devices that are going to be standalone, that are going to require immediate and appropriate security, convenient security for access. So, for example, we're working with a customer that builds a fluid dispensing solution for cruise ships and large restaurants. Well, they have regulatory requirements to change filters and maintain these devices. But they also want to have a full and complete audit trail to know that their service technician actually touched the device and replaced the filter and did everything that he was stated to do. These devices now are all going to be connected. So they want to put a biometric on the front end to ensure when the tech shows up, he logs into the device. It transmits his authentication out to a central server, and they have assurance that the work that was supposed to be or was planned to be done on that device has taken place. So we're going to see a whole host of new opportunities evolve as a result of that. We talk about the potential demise of the credit card with the fact that we've got all kinds of mobile payment solutions that are available on phones and devices. Yet consumers still like a card. And we're talking about cards that have a potential biometric embedded in them. So I don't think one size fits all, and I don't think one style will solve every problem. I think there's just a tremendous opportunity out there to replace passwords, to replace less secure and less convenient methods of authentication or identification, so to speak, that we have to provide many times a day to access all kinds of information or even physical infrastructures.
All right, let me drill down on that one, because what we're talking about are new customers. You just started to crack the door open a little bit. Talk to me about some of the new customers, the new verticals where you're deploying this technology, and how you're staying ahead of the curve from what you have to face in an onslaught of competition in your world.
Yeah. Well, the fact is that we've been in this business for well over 20 years, and we have a very mature, very elaborate and sophisticated, but yet easy to use platform for enterprises. So for business customers that want a connected server-based biometric solution as well as a device-based solution, we've got that mature platform. We continue to add, update, enhance that solution. With all the data breaches that you've read about or that you may have even experienced, because they've happened so many times over the last 5 to 6 years, more and more corporations are embracing a more convenient, more secure option for their employees in relation to accessing all of their portals, right? All the corporate portals. So we have a very, very, I'll call it, select group of marquee customers in that space, and we're going to continue to expand and grow that base. The thermals are with us in that market right now, and we're going to continue to expand and grow our base there. I talked about the consumer market. I talked about our finger scanners that are now widely available on Amazon.com and through distribution for consumers to replace their password on their Windows platform or their Windows device. So that business is growing, and that's going to continue to grow. Our consumer products business is our locks, for example. We've only begun to sell those products. We think we have a wonderful opportunity to get those products to go viral and to build a significant business there. But we also have a global footprint. We now have 2 offices in Asia. We have one in Hong Kong, one in China, in Jiangmen in China. And so we're expanding our footprint beyond just North America and Europe into the Asia-Pacific market, where there's tremendous opportunity for security devices and security software like we offer.
Michael, we've got less than a minute left. New opportunities for revenue for BKYI expected in the next 12, 24 months?
Clearly an expansion in our enterprise, clearly a follow-on products, different form factors of our finger scanners that we'll be introducing, and clearly new and additional products and solutions on the consumer side, like our locks, and maybe extensions into the IoT world. That's the future for us. But given the technology that we have today, it's really just executing and expanding our footprint, expanding our sales, our revenue, growing our revenue, expanding our sales footprint by, again, different locations around the world, and also creating and expanding our distribution relationships. That's really the future for our company.
Got it. All right, Michael, thanks for being a guest on the show.
Thank you very much for having me today.
My pleasure. Michael Depasquale, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, BioKey, bio-key.com, symbol on the stock BKYI.